I'm Marni Hughes, and this is Missing. Thank you for joining us. Each week, we cover a missing person case that isn't getting much attention. Every missing person matters, no matter their race, background, or circumstances. By highlighting these cases and sharing their stories, we believe every case is solvable. And together, we can bring answers to the family and friends of the missing. This week's featured case, Matthew Spencer. He vanished on his way from California to Houston, looking for a fresh start in Texas after a breakup.
I think it was just change of scenery type thing. He was done with that part of it. And plus breaking up with his girlfriend, too. I think maybe he just wanted to get away.
Coming up, Matt's twin sister talks to us about the case and what she discovered after sleuthing her way into his Google account. First, several other updates to pass along on missing cases that we're following. A mother from Indiana is alive after what police are calling a suspicious fire at her home outside of Indianapolis. Brittany Gard was missing 8 days before police say they found her in the woods about 2.5 miles from her house. The sheriff's office says they responded to the home on fire in Bainbridge Wednesday night, October 1st. Brittany wasn't there, although her family says her car and purse were. Brittany was reported missing the day before after she didn't show up to her daughter's volleyball game. The sheriff says Brittany is being cleared by medical staff, but no further details about her condition or where she's been the last week are being released. The parents of Ashley Marie Williams are in California desperately trying to get the word out about their missing daughter. Ashley's 28 years old, originally from Ohio, but was last seen in Los Angeles in late July. Her parents, Dwayne and Sherry Williams, are teaming up with retired detective Moses Castillo.
You are missed, you are loved, you are wanted. We want you back.
You know I love you. And I just want you back. I want you back. So please, just contact me. I don't care where you are. I will come and get you.
The parents are searching LA Skid Row after several possible sightings of Ashley. They say it is not like her to lose touch with her family. They are extremely worried about her safety and well-being. Anyone with information about Ashley's whereabouts, call 911 or the LAPD. Joseph Aranda is missing. According to a missing flyer online, the 32-year-old has not been seen since July 10th of this year. He's from Victorville, California. His car found abandoned in Emmanuel Temple CME Church, a parking lot on Stoddard Wells Road. Joseph has a large tattoo on the top of his back with his last name, Aranda. He also has a chipped right tooth. According to the Find Joseph Instagram page, he is the type of person who stays in touch with his family and friends. He checks in with his mom and sisters regularly. The family is pleading with anyone who knows anything about Joseph's whereabouts to contact police. He is a father of 4. Every night he says goodnight to his kids. They miss him. Now to this week's featured case. No phone, no car, no belongings, and more importantly, no Matthew Spencer. This August, the 28-year-old was on his way to Texas to look for work and a place to stay, but he never made it. And when his twin sister was able to sleuth her way into his Google account, the family's worry grew exponentially. New scenery for a new chapter. That was the goal as Matt Spencer set out in his 19-year-old Hyundai, leaving his home in California, hoping for a fresh start in Texas.
Cheers. He just wanted to find somewhere to fit in with no drama.
His twin, Kara, says low on money, Matt was also low on spirits after a breakup. Still, after a stop and stay with their sister in Las Vegas, Matt had a plan and a backup. An avid fisherman, he was told Houston would be a good spot to settle.
I think it was just change of scenery type thing. He was done with that part of it. And plus breaking up with his girlfriend, too. I think maybe he just wanted to get away.
Leaving Las Vegas, Matt texted with his sister along the way.
His last message was, "What's for dinner and how was your night?" It's him being worried about other people, you know. But nothing in our messages was out of the normal.
Kara went to bed and never answered. While waiting to hear from her brother once he settled in Houston, something strange happened.
My legs were just really sore for some reason.
Kara didn't know it yet, but her twin was missing. His silver Hyundai spotted by a license plate reader in Flagstaff, Arizona. Yet he told his aunt he was in Cloudcroft, New Mexico.
I have a 4-year-old, so it keeps me busy. I feel bad. I should have been more talkative to him. But my aunt's the one that noticed that he wasn't answering.
So we went on TikTok Live and we asked people about the area. And we were like, if somebody was going from here to here, what routes would they take? We went through every city on each route. I think there was 3 that we had it narrowed down to. And we had called hospitals. We had called jails. We had called... This is morbid, but we had called morgues.
And when Kara sleuthed her way in to Matt's Google account, pay dirt.
We was searching like my Hyundai Tucson won't turn over. Why is it clicking? One was like, where am I? Like, what time is it in Houston, Texas?
And Matt's location, not New Mexico. Instead, west of Flagstaff, Arizona.
None of his Google searches were showing him in New Mexico. It was showing him in Arizona. So I'm thinking maybe he was lost, or maybe he thought he was in New Mexico.
We don't know if there's anything missing out of the car because we can't find the car. And that's the hardest part. If his car was broke down, then where did it go from there?
That was amazing that they were able to get into Matthew's Google account.
Based on that data, Rhonda DeCare has had her Missing in America volunteer search team out along I-40. Off the freeway lies historic Route 66, and an area that quickly gives way to forest roads and extremely rough terrain.
The car has to be on one of those pathways. If it was not working properly, it couldn't have got too far off the beaten path.
And not too far off the road, this, a Hyundai, spotted from above. The team scrambling to the scene at ground level and discovering an abandoned silver Tucson, but not the same year. The searchers telling NewsNation it was an emotional gut punch.
My legs, I think, were sore before I even knew he was missing. Maybe he was walking. I don't know if that's possible for me to feel that.
Matt's twin is certain he knows he is much loved and wouldn't intentionally go off the grid.
I just want everybody to pray and to share his face as much as possible, because somebody has seen something.
Flagstaff police answering our questions about the case, telling us that they have just one hit on a license plate reader at the off-ramp of I-40 and Butler on August 5th at 2:12 p.m. We're told that if he traveled into the city of Flagstaff, police believe that they would have gotten more hits on his license plate. Joining us now, Evan Short with the Missing in America Network, a group advocating for the families of missing people. Thank you so much. How did you become involved with this case, you and your team?
Hi, thanks for having me on. So the family had reached out to the Missing in America Network, and because I'm familiar with the area, I was working with the case manager. I was actually up in the area when we got the case, and started on the ground, looking around to the different areas that were suspected of where he might be. Unfortunately, that was several weeks ago, and we've been up there every weekend since then.
Tell us, Evan, about the topography, the landscape of this area where we thought he might have been.
Well, if you're driving from Las Vegas and you go through this area, it changes astronomically. I mean, you go from high desert to pine trees and forests and lakes. It's absolutely beautiful area. And I think that's one of the things that kept him in that area.
And can you get disoriented being in this area? Is there a lot of signage? Is it easy to get lost?
Well, there's a lot of signage, and he was using Google Maps quite a bit. He was searching "Where am I," which would basically bring him up on the map, and he was searching for lakes and bodies of water in the area. So it looks like he was trying to find a good place to go fishing, honestly.
Yeah. Tell me more about the searches on foot. Have teams been using drone technology and other measures to try to locate any clues?
We've been on foot. We've used grid search, patterns with the drones. It's a high altitude pass because we're looking for vehicles. It's different if you're looking for a individual on foot. Right now, we're just trying to locate the vehicle. Most of the time, it's we're driving those roads, checking, the cellular signal to replicate what circumstances he would have been in, because he was talking about spotty signal. And then we would do foot searches in areas where we actually discovered his last GPS coordinate was actually a campsite.
And any leads that you found at that spot?
We've been out there a few times. In fact, last weekend I was with a retired police officer that was assisting me on foot. We did find like a fire pit circle where we believe he was probably staying at, but it was relatively clean. It looked very off the beaten path. So it was probably 600 yards off of the prairie road where he was pulled off of.
Tell me about the search that you all then stumbled upon a different car. I know that was emotional for everybody involved. You get your hopes up that you're going to find him.
Yeah, that was a moment. And I was even reviewing the drone footage where I was, flying in a drone in a grid pattern, and you can tell the moment I spotted it, because the camera jerked and I flew over to it and we're looping around. I'm like, oh my gosh, my son has a 2007 Hyundai Tucson, and I was like, that's the car right there. And we got the drone back. We drove out to the location, and it was like California plates, wrong year, wrong headlights and stuff like that. That was one of those exciting and yet disappointing moments. What happens a lot during search and rescue.
And oftentimes when you do this long enough, certain areas, you come across other missing person cases. I know Matthew's case is not the only one that you all have been working in this same region. Correct,
yes. There's Sean Holmes, another individual that we've been working on a case out of the Williams area, where the individual went missing from one of the lakes. Some personal items were recovered at the lake, and then his vehicle was located out towards New Mexico off the I-40.
How about searches in the water? I know there are dive teams who come out when necessary to help. Has that occurred now, and are there bodies of water that have yet to be searched?
Well, we've flown perimeters around several of the lakes to see if we can locate, like maybe the vehicle went into the water. There has been cases where we've assisted in where that's been the case out in California, for example. We haven't had any diver teams look into any of the lakes quite yet, no.
What else stands out to you, Evan, about Matthew's disappearance? The communication, the text messages with his family members, the phone calls, his pursuit to get to Houston. We've been looking at that Google data quite a bit. I've had a couple of data analysts that we employ that have been helping out as well. And we all separately, I gave them the data, and we all kind of came to the same conclusion that it looks like he wasn't trying to worry his family. He was trying to kind of figure out what he wanted to do. He wasn't in a rush to get to Houston. He even stated that to the family. On the 5th and 6th, he was basically saying, I'm just trying to figure things out and, trying to find my place. I think he was just trying to find a location to call home. Yeah. Well, and hopefully if Matthew sees this and he was taking his time and he is somewhere and doesn't want to return yet, that he reaches out to his family and lets them know. Meantime, the search continues. Any more searches planned for that area, Evan? We do. We actually have a designated public map that any individuals that would want to help out, they can contact me over at Missing in America Network. We'd be very happy to have any locals that want to go out in some side-by-sides and get some mud on their vehicles and stuff like that and help a good cause. We have a public map. Anything that I've done is public, and we just want to coordinate. This weekend, we're expecting a lot of heavy rain, so we're going to call it off this weekend, but probably the weekend after that, we'll be picking back up. We're looking for volunteers. All right. Appreciate your help and you and your team for everything you do. Evan Short, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. If you have information on the disappearance of Matthew Spencer, take another good look at his picture. You can contact police in Flagstaff, Arizona. And if you live in that area, as Evan said, you can join in the search in about a week or so. If you have a missing case you think we should investigate, go to our missing page on newsnationnow.com. Many of the cases we cover come from you. You can also sign up for our weekly missing newsletter for the latest missing cases that we're actively investigating. I'm Marni Hughes in Chicago. As always, thank you for joining us. I'll see you back here next week for another missing case.